Out of all the television shows I've ever seen, there's always been two standout characters who have the greatest story arcs to me in just television history. Right now, what's a character arc? Basically, a character arc, to put it in the simplest terms, is the difference between how a character starts and how they end based on the events of the story. So the greatest story arc all the way to 180 degrees, meaning they are diametrically opposed their end result to how they started off. Now, the two greatest characters that I can just easily remember off the bat, I'll start with the first. The first character is called Nog from Star Trek Deep Space Nine, right? He was played by the late and great Aaron Eisenberg, okay? Now, if anybody knows anything about Ferengi culture, which is what Nog was, the Ferengi culture is totally opposed to the culture of the United Federation of Planets, mainly because of how the Ferengi seek profit. So when Nog was first introduced into Star Trek, right, he was, a low down, dirty, dealing, backstabbing. He would. That's what Nog did. Nog was always in trouble. He was always, scheming. Even Cisco had to question the relationship between Nog and Jake, because of the effect Nog was having on Jake. But see, what Cisco didn't know was that Jake was having an effect on Nog as well. Not to mention all of the other senior bridge crew that Nog ended up interacting with. And by the end of the series, right, Nog had become a captain, right? A captain in the United Federation of Planets. Think about that. The only Ferengi. Now, if you was to put how Captain Nog ended up based on how Nog started, 180-degree difference. Well, not too much changed as far as having grubs fed to him. But the second person in memory would be the character of Jakar from Babylon 5. He was played by the late and great Andreas Katsoulis, I believe his name was. Now, the thing about Jakar is that he had a very similar start to a mix between Kira and Nog, all right? Jakar, he had just got out of a civil war. I mean, not a civil war, a war with the Narman. It decimated most of his people. They were slaves for centuries. They finally got a seat at the table. They wasn't the most technologically advanced people. Jakar was always scheming, man. He was villainous. He was backstabbing. A lot of the characteristics of Nog. He was a terrorist. He was always trying to do something to basically scheme his way to his people being stronger and freer and all that kind of stuff, right? But by the end of the series, Jakar had become kind of like a messianic figure, kind of like an emissary of the show. He was very thoughtful, very patient. He was a totally different person from the way he started off in the series. Now, for people who don't know who these particular characters are or haven't watched for some strange reason these two particular series, first, there's a reason why both Star Trek Deep Space Nine and Babylon 5 are held in such high regard when it comes to the intricacies of character development, character writing, the overall story composition. So these are my favorite two characters with the favorite two story arcs that I can think of. If you guys have any, please leave them in the comments.